Hi, it's Charlie, and we'll begin our exploration and study of Ashtadhyayi with a little bit of broad brush context, historical context. We think of Panini as having written his grammar in about 500 BC. At that point, the language he's describing is not very different than the language he might be speaking, but it has become farther from the Vedic language in which the Vedas are expressed. And since the exact expression of the Vedic rituals is crucial in obtaining the desired outcome, and because even the smallest error, meaning the wrong accent on a single syllable, can literally bring disastrous results, it was very important to codify what was correct. And as much as anything, that is how we can understand Panini's motivation. It's not thought that it was by origin a teaching device, although it certainly has been used and sometimes is still used for that purpose. Over time, things continue to change, and the spoken language drifted farther from the language of classical Sanskrit as described by Panini. So at the beginning of the current era, meaning AD 19, a grammarian decided that students needed a little bit of a leg up, a little help learning the language. So he modified Panini's grammar in very significant ways. He greatly reduced the number of sutras, and he began to create explanatory language so that it became easier to generate correct forms with his grammar. Further down the line, several enormously important commentaries emerged, and including one called Siddhanta Kaumadi by Batoji Dikshita. Now, Siddhanta Kaumadi is in a lineage of the first modification I mentioned, in that it completely does away with the structure of Ashtadhyayi, but it does not simplify the grammar. In fact, Batoji Dikshita was meticulous in his inclusion of all aspects of the grammar. So what emerged from that is a very large grammar, which on the one hand groups the different rules together that are needed to produce a certain result. So, for instance, it would group all the rules needed to generate the correct forms of a noun or a verb or sandhi or whatever. However, this is not at all the way Ashtadhyayi is organized. So, in place of all the intrinsic machinery of Ashtadhyayi, Siddhanta Kaumadi relies on extensive description. And over time, quite a lot of time by now, the study of Panini has pretty much shifted to the study of Siddhanta Kaumadi. In fact, my teacher, Shri Prabhakara Shastri, came to teach what I have learned from him after decades of frustration as a professor of Sanskrit at Andhra University, teaching Panini as Siddhartha Comedy, because it's a hard row to hoe, and it doesn't result in the kind of beauty and gratification that the original Ashtadhyayi does. And Prabhakar Shastri created sort of a hybrid in what he taught me. That is to say, he includes only Ashtadhyayi rules and in Ashtadhyayi order, but he does group them in a more coherent way. And when that disrupts the order of the sutras, he provides the necessary bridges. So it's sort of the best of both worlds. And one thing is, it absolutely retains and facilitates the internalization of the Ashtadhyayi machinery, which is unique in the world and a thing of great, great beauty. So that's what we will be proceeding on. Now, Siddhartha Comedy remains an invaluable commentary, and we will later on frequently refer to the commentary of Siddhartha Comedy, and also of the greatest commentary, Mahabhashya.